You were not meant to be a slave to the grind. You were not meant to trade your life force for money. You can escape gravity. You can unlock your life. You got this. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Unlock Your Life. It's me, Jennings. Guys, have you ever been stressed out from relaxing? Stressed out from vacation? If you're an entrepreneur like me, you probably know the feeling well. You go away for a week or two, you come back, and you've got a mountain of work and crap on your plate, and it's almost like, was this even worth it? So last week, I went down to Naples, Florida. I had an awesome time, and we went to an alligator farm. I saw a dude stick his head in an alligator's mouth. We caught some blue crabs. We got to see my wife's family, her brother, my brother-in-law, and it was a beautiful time. But after about, 4 days down there, I start to think about work and the things going on. And then on top of this, I get a call. I'm at a dinner party in Florida. It's 6, 7 o'clock at night. And it's the brokers for a deal that I have under contract to sell. So I own the deal and I'm selling the deal. And they're coming back to me with, okay, here's a structural report from the engineer that we sent out there, and you need 100 helical piles. Your foundations are settling. There's also a lot of elevated walkways and steel that are all rotted out. They've got to be replaced or fixed. And we want you to get on the phone with the engineer and go through all this with him. And I'm just like, one, hell no, I'm not doing that because I'm on vacation. I'm trying to be present with my wife, be present with my kids. And two, I'm not really wanting to get on the phone with an engineer and the buyer to hear him drone on for 30 minutes about all the things that are possibly wrong with my property. Then on top of that, I get another email from a vendor. Apparently we owe a bill that we didn't know about. And I'm talking large bill, like almost $100K. And so I don't know that we really owe that money, but we kind of do. And now I've got to deal with that problem on how do we overcome this? What do we owe? Can we negotiate? Why wasn't this addressed beforehand? And so these things are kind of crashing down on me during my vacation. And I'm just starting to get stressed out. And so that night I couldn't sleep very well. I'm just thinking about all these problems. We're going to lose $1 million on this deal we're trying to sell. We're going to have a $100,000 unexpected expense at the last minute on this other deal. And I'm kind of having a pity party, honestly. I start moping around and I'm like, why aren't I richer than I am? Why don't I just have millions and millions of dollars in the bank and this wouldn't be a big deal to me? This wouldn't be a problem. Why does everything have to be so hard? Why can't things just work out? Why can't I relax on my vacation and blah, blah, blah? Serious pity party. So I tell my wife, look, I got to go on a walk. I'm just going to, we're at an Airbnb. So I'm just going to walk around the neighborhood and clear my head. Sometimes when I start feeling this way, I like to, get outside, get in the fresh air, get my heart moving, take a little walk. I pray and ask the Lord for guidance. So I'm walking along and I'm just kind of complaining to myself, to God about all these things that are going wrong. And I really don't know what to say. And something comes to me. I would say the Spirit came to me and said, look, say the Lord's Prayer. Just say the Lord's Prayer. So I start in and I say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And boom, right as I said that, give us this day our daily bread, it struck me. God knows we have needs. God knows we have problems. But he gives us our daily bread. Jesus Christ, God's Son, said, not give me $1 million, not give me everything I could ever need so that I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to rely on you or trust you. He said, give me this day my daily bread. And I thought about that. Jenny, do you have a roof over your head? Yes, you're staying in this beautiful Airbnb in Florida with a pool, with a hot tub, with your family, with your kids, with your in-laws. You're on vacation. You got food in the fridge. You're going out to eat tonight and you have the money in the bank to pay for the meal. You have your daily bread. You have your needs satisfied. So that's number one. And then I got into a position of gratefulness, right? Let's go back to that deal in Oklahoma. We're all into that deal for $8 million. We're under contract to sell it for $13.2 million. They're probably going to get us for, I don't know, $300,000 or $400,000. And let's just say worst case scenario, $1 million. So we only sell it for 12.2 instead of 13.2. Well, 12.2 minus 8 is still 4.2 million. Now that's split up between the partners, but still, it is a very profitable deal. How about a little bit of gratefulness for the ability to be in that position, right? Thinking about the vendor bill. Well, I can come up with the money. I can figure that out. We'll negotiate something. We'll work something out. And the only reason I have that problem is because I have an apartment complex to create that problem. And it got me thinking, yes, I am still dealing with problems. Yes, I'm still dealing with challenges. I'm still dealing with obstacles. But the problems that I'm dealing with now are better problems. They're bigger problems. They're different problems. I don't want to be solving the problems I used to solve. The largest problems that I would face back when I was, doing construction was, oh, okay, this client's going over budget by 10 grand. Oh, this schedule got delayed. Oh, I didn't win the bid on this custom home or whatever it was. Those were problems, and those were real problems. And at the time, they stressed me out. They were things I had to focus on, things I had to overcome. And I'm not discounting that, right? Because those stresses and pressures were very real to me at the time. And I would dream about a different reality. I would pray for a different reality. I would want a different reality. Man, I wish I didn't have to deal with these little tiny problems. I wish I didn't have to deal with the minutia of building a business that is never going to be worth what I want it to be worth. That's never going to, create the type of lifestyle and income that I want. And so even though I'm dealing with problems still, and I'll let you in on a little secret, I know a lot of guys that are way further ahead than I am. I'm talking 5 times, 10 times, 100 times my portfolio, my net worth, cash in the bank. They got it all. And they're dealing with problems. They're dealing with stress. They're dealing with pressure. You're going to be sitting on the beach, sipping pina coladas, collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with no problems. That's just not true. It's just not so. Nobody is in that scenario. You think Elon Musk has no problems? You think Jeff Bezos has no problems? However, the things and the problems that they're solving are worth it. They are high value problems, they're difficult problems to solve. And so they're getting rewarded for those problems, and it's worth it. It's because you're always going to have that. And that was kind of the catalyst of what I took away from this, is not wishing for a life of comfort, a life of ease, of I don't have any worries, nothing's going to go wrong, because life isn't like that. And honestly, I don't want life to be like that. Because the best thing about what we've done, me and Yaden and the deal room and all my partners, what we've done over the last 4 or 5 years, the best part of it is not the money. The best part is not the passive income and the money in the bank and the prestige and all the other stuff that comes with it. The best part about it is it has made me a completely different person. I think differently. I act differently. I'm more resilient. I have more grit. I have more competence. I have a heck of a lot more confidence in myself and what I can do and what I can achieve and the problems that I can solve and the stress that I can handle than I did 4 or 5 years ago. And that stuff cannot be bought. That stuff cannot be given. That stuff can only be earned in the trenches by going through these problems, getting hit in the mouth, getting knocked down, failing, putting yourself out there and getting rejected and getting back up and persisting and continuing to go forward to make yourself a durable, resistant, persistent, contributing member of society and becoming who you were destined to be, living into what you know you're capable of doing, fulfilling the potential and the things that God put you on this earth to do. And so if you're wishing for an easy life, flowery beds of ease, sitting on the beach drinking Mai Tais and having not a care in the world, well, you probably shouldn't try to do anything big. Because if you do try to do something big, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be tests. There are going to be problems. Just like you have problems now, there's going to be problems in the future. But what problems are you going to work on? And then when I decided I'm not going to work on the problem of I got to get the next job, I got to get the next custom home built, I got to get these subs on schedule, et cetera, et cetera. When I started working on the problem of, okay, well, how do I exit this, right? How do I create income on the side so that I can step away from this? How do I sell my company? How do I build a pipeline and portfolio so that it can support my family, and then I'll have more time and be able to dedicate more efforts to this, and then it'll continue to even grow more and more exponentially? How can I solve the problem of not having the skills that I need, not being the person I need to be that is a millionaire, that has a portfolio, that is in real estate full-time, that isn't controlled by clients, that isn't controlled by other human beings telling them, you got to go here at this time. You got to do this job. You can go to the bathroom at these hours. You can have 1 week of paid vacation per year, and that's it. You can't work too much overtime, on and on and on. Autonomy is huge to me. I wanted autonomy. And so when I started working on a new problem, it helped me become a completely different person, because now, as I'm centering into that position of gratefulness, I can look at a deal, and if a deal goes bad, right? I got a deal that's going bad right now. Not seriously bad, but we're probably going to lose about $200,000 on this deal. And this is the deal where Yaden and I have already injected the capital. It's not like we got to write a check for $200,000, but at the end of the day, by the time we sell it and get out of that deal, Yaden and I are going to lose money. Is that the end of the world? Absolutely not. Because I know what I'm doing now. I know what mistakes I made. I know how to avoid that type of deal in the future. I know that this is not ever going to happen to me again because I went through that pain, right? I also know what deals worked and why they worked. The operationals, we're taking on the property management on a couple of our properties to operate them hopefully better. And that is pain, that is discomfort, that is problems. That's something that I don't necessarily want to do, but I want to get through that, right? Because I know if I build that skill, I can continue to scale, I can continue to grow, I can operate my properties more profitably, and I can make my, circle of competence even greater. So don't look for shortcuts, don't look for comfort, don't look for ease. Look at the problems that you want to solve, the new problems that you want to have, because those problems are going to make you who you need to become to get where you want to go. All right, guys, I hope this wasn't too cerebral, but I appreciate you listening. If you're out there listening, hit me up, shoot me a message. I really enjoy hearing from you guys. Happy to converse with you, hear what you got going on. Take a minute this week to unlock your life. Peace.
This is the podcastfactory.com.